My case for $2,500 an ounce gold, even with a predicted price pullback. Hey everyone, thanks so much for watching Yankee Stacking. I'm going to give you my case for gold at $2,500 an ounce, even with this recent price pullback that we've seen. Now, this is not a gold to the moon video. No, This is a fact-based, numbers-driven, legitimate case for $2,500 an ounce gold. So watch all the way through. Hit the like right now. Subscribe if you haven't, because I'm giving away an ounce of gold when I hit 100,000 subscribers. I'm also going to share with you how I've shifted some with my silver and gold buying ratio. For example, this piece that I got from SD Bullion. I'm going to open this up. And while I do, I just want to tell you that SD Bullion is my favorite online bullion company. They're honest, they're reliable, they're quick to ship. I mean, shoot, I got this in days, not weeks. And their prices are super hard to beat. Impossible to beat? No. There's sometimes you'll find a cheaper item somewhere, but SD Bullion has the cheapest gold and silver around, time and time again. And their selection is really good too, especially for a stacker. Yeah, they might not have the silver and gold collectible that you're after all the time, but for a prepper stacker like me, it doesn't really matter that much. And one other thing, their CEO, Tyler Wall, he runs a highly admirable company. Okay, did you know that they donate 1/10 of their net income to charity? They do. This card came with this purchase too. They are phenomenal with their mission. Okay, as a follower of Christ, I give away 1/10 of my income as well, so that really resonates with me. All right, anyway, let's see this thing. It is, oh yeah. The gold Britannia. This is my second one, and I absolutely love the design. It's gorgeous, and I love the purity of this coin too. 24 karat gold. Approximately 2/3 of my precious metals stack value is in gold. My current buy ratio with silver and gold has changed slightly. I was buying 100 ounces of silver to every 1 ounce of gold, 100 to 1 earlier this year. Now it's more like 50 ounces of silver to every 1 ounce of gold. That shift was largely due to the sudden spike in silver premiums that we're all suffering under, right? The current shape of my silver stack, which is pretty good, and the desire to stack a bit more dense, right? Stacking dense is a part of stacking the Yankee Way. So yeah, all right. Silver, though, is still a great speculative play with a lot of upside. And I do pick up silver. I mean, I just got these, Canadian maple leafs, all right, through a private purchase. I got a whole tube of quarters from Tim, but gold is more of a priority. Back in March 4th, I predicted that gold would drop below $1,900 an ounce. I did a video on it. It was called, Is It Time for a Gold and Silver Stacking Pause? And at that time, I did pause my heavy stacking, 2 months later, and I'm still not stacking heavy, at least not with silver. I said in that video that any easing of fears with regard to Ukraine would probably cause gold prices to drop. A drop in the fear trade would drop the price of gold. And I think that has happened to some degree. Biden is throwing billions at the Ukraine, and U.S. diplomats have returned to Kiev. I've even heard rumors that Putin is not long for this world. Who knows? But The panic has subsided some. And I admit, I thought that the conflict would be over by now, and it isn't. So I was wrong in that regard. It could dramatically escalate at any moment, okay? Maybe by the time this video drops. But again, the fear has subsided, and that, I think, has dropped gold prices. Also, since the pause video came out, our central bank strongly hinted at a 50 basis point increase this month with interest rates. Maybe 50 basis points again in June. That's what they're saying. We'll see. I don't know. But I don't think it's enough to quell inflation. And frankly, I don't think they can do it. I made that case in a recent video. I'm not going to go into it right now, except to say that with the bond and stock markets tanking, I think this Federal Reserve hawkishness is short-lived. So watch that video up there if you want to see a compelling chart on that. Finally, the US dollar has temporarily strengthened. The dollar index, the DXY, is over 100. But hey, this is short-lived as well, in my opinion. The Fed will soon be doing what Japan's central bank is doing with the yen, printing like maniacs. So all that has pushed gold down in the short term, but it's a buying opportunity for the long term. The most popular inflation gauge, the Consumer Price Index, is running at a 40-year high. You probably already know that. The Everyday Price Index, as the American Institute for Economic Research calls it, is up 9.5% from a year ago. According to them, inflation really rose 3% in March, not 1.3% as the CPI. No, 3%. The alternate inflation index by Shadow Stats is a whopping 17% right now. Again, you probably already know this, but did you know that gold is far from an inflation-adjusted high? Despite breaking $2,000 an ounce back in March, gold prices remain below their January 1980 peak of $850 an ounce. In real terms, adjusted for inflation, that old high of $850 would be equivalent to $2,500 an ounce today. And with Shadow Stats' index, gold would be twice that, or $5,000 an ounce. Now, I'm not saying gold's going to hit $5,000 an ounce, but $2,500 an ounce? I think that's almost a foregone conclusion. That is why I'm long gold. That is why I bought this and all my gold. I think gold will easily set a new inflation-adjusted all-time high soon, maybe even this year. An inflationary recession or stagflation could hit this year. Think that's being an alarmist? Well, GDP, a measure of the economy's overall health, was down 1.4% for Q1 this year. One more negative print next quarter, and technically we'll be in recession. And inflation's not going anywhere. Now, why did the GDP drop? I'm going to discuss that in an upcoming video. Now, I'm no financial advisor. I'm a 56-year-old prepper and prepper stacker. I built my family's wealth through traditional investing and alternative assets over the years. Right now, I want to preserve my wealth, even more than continuing to build it. Now, I want to build my wealth all the time, but that's not my highest priority. And it's not just because, Yankee's old either, but because since 2008, everything has changed. I still invest, but it's mostly with alternative assets in a more contrarian way. But my primary goal is to maintain my purchasing power and to even sustain my wealth through a possible SHTF scenario, a dollar reset, an economic collapse that would likely ensue. So for that, it's physical gold, and I'm buying it as much as I can afford to stack. Well, I hope you enjoyed this video, and as always, I hope your day is A-OK.